Hi, I'm Cailey, a librarian here at Mentor Public Library.
And I'm Meg, also a librarian, and welcome to this week's edition of All Booked Up with Cailey and Meg. Each time we give you different book recommendations on a specific theme. Today, because we're heading into February, we are going to be looking at romance books, just in time for Valentine's Day to get you all in that sweet romantic mood.
Yes, and all of the books that we're going to talk about today are available for you at the library as well as online with your library card for free with Libby and Hoopla.
All right, Cailey, what is your first romance?
So my first romance is called In a New York Minute by Kate Spencer. And yes, the song just rolled through my head anytime I say that title. So this is about Franny, who is having a truly epic bad day. She was laid off from her job, which she didn't love. It was kind of mediocre, but still just terrible day. And in her rush to get on the subway, she manages to get her dress caught, her favorite silk dress, in the subway doors. And it caught to the point where basically now she's indecent. It basically shows she flashed the whole subway basically. But luckily a handsome stranger comes to her rescue with his Gucci suit jacket to help preserve just a touch of her dignity. And if that was not bad enough, unknown to her as well as the gentleman who helped her, someone had posted this whole humiliating moment online, dubbing the two as subway cuties.
Oh,
the hashtag and all.
yeah.
Making it seem like there was more to this interaction than there actually was between these two strangers. And this goes viral, talking about meet cutes in New York and, the magic of New York City and finding love and all of that. But it's not actually what it seems. And Hayes, who is that Gucci jacket owner, is just the complete opposite of Franny and, was totally horrified by that experience himself and embarrassed for her. But they're totally opposites. He is very shy and reserved and serious, and she is chatty and social and all of that. But the two, after this incident, think they're never going to see one another again. So when their whole incident goes viral, it kind of throws them for a loop. Even more so when they just keep bumping into each other. Now, New York is just this huge city, obviously.
Yeah.
And so you don't really see a lot of the same people over and over again unless you're trying to. But some sort of serendipity keeps throwing the two together and they keep bumping into each other throughout New York. Part of that is really a clash of personalities, but they are also sort of sharing with one another their favorite parts of the city along the way. And it's a very sweet sort of opposites attract type book, and has New York City as a background. So there's a lot of that sort of almost quaint New York City charm. I say quaint just because I think like the little things, the park scenes and stuff like that. I can picture it easily as a movie. And in fact, this book was like compared to like Nora Ephron movies, so same idea. But it's interesting to see two people from very different walk of life who are just sort of thrown together by fate and how that plays out with them.
Cailey, that is the most adorable book. I love it. It's so, I say it's halfway relatable to me. I had that happen coming into work once where a car spread water over half my hair and half of it ballooned and the other half was straight. And I was like at work all day, like looking like madman or something. The only thing that didn't happen, the cute guy didn't come along, unfortunately. That is the part I missed, but that sounds like an absolutely delightful story. And I love the city setting as well. That's fun. My first romance also takes place in the city. This is downtown Chicago. And the name of this book is To Get to the Other Side by Kelly Ohlert. Now, to get to the other side, that's a part of a famous riddle about the chicken, right? And there is chickens in this book. underappreciated, cute little animal here.
I
It is
don't know if I've read a romance book that features chickens.
prominently, okay, prominently features a chicken. So our main girl, Trixie, she is traveling in downtown Chicago one day when she sees an injured little chicken in the middle of the road, Cailey. And what does she do? She's like, I have to take care of it. She doesn't think twice. She saves this little chicken and she takes it home with her to her apartment. Unfortunately, her landlord is not happy about this, Cailey. He says no pets allowed. And not only that, Trixie is a little behind on her rent. So he kind of uses this chicken, poor little chicken, as an excuse to say, you're out of here. So Trixie has to find somewhere else to live. Meanwhile, Bear, so the main guy's name is Bear.
Yes.
He lives a quiet life with his close-knit family running a flower business. But there's a free to kind of make ends meet. They decide to rent out one of their rooms for rent. And his meddlesome sisters decide, maybe we're going to give Trixie a chance to use this room, this spare room. Bear's kind of against it, but he's like, okay, we need to do it. So let's let her stay here with this chicken, with this little crazy chicken. So as she moves in and Trixie kind of gets in on the flower business a little, adventures abound where they kind of raise this little chicken together, kind of take care of it. And along the way, they kind of learn about each other's personalities, try to keep things platonic. We'll see if they're successful or not. But as you can already tell, this is just a super fun story, quirky. I love the whole taking care of a chicken like it's your baby or something. It's like, I don't even know what goes into chicken care, but I just, that's why the story was fun for me. I like the city setting as well. So a little Chicago, they talk about some of the settings there as well. So kind of like your last one, but I just loved it. It was just funny, really funny.
That's fun. I mean, I enjoy reading romance and romantic comedy type books. And so, like I said, I think that's a first for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that one. So my next book came out a few years ago. This one is called Well Met by Jen DeLuca. This is super fun and recommended to me by a friend, in fact. And this is the first book, and there are some sort of like loosely connected sequel type books that came after this. This first one is about Emily, who has headed to her sister's small town of Willow Creek, Maryland, because her sister's recently had an accident and needs a little bit of help over the summer. But the timing on this is selfishly great for Emily because she's just had a terrible breakup with her long-term boyfriend and just kind of needs to clear her head and get out of town anyway. Well, when she arrives at her sister's, she finds out that not only is she helping care for her sister this summer, but she's also been roped into volunteering at the local Renaissance fair. Not exactly her jam, but her niece is too young to volunteer alone and is required to have an adult volunteer with her. And she doesn't want to disappoint her niece, so she agrees that she will be a bar wench for the summer.
Very nice.
But so she sort of reluctantly complies to this because she doesn't want to disappoint her niece, and she goes through the training to work at the Renaissance Fair, which is surprisingly complex. There's a lot of weird rules about the language and things, but she starts to make some friends and she actually really enjoys her time there. But then there is Simon, who is the one who's running the fair, and he takes things very seriously.
Okay.
People need to be in character at all times. There's certain rules about the way the fair is run. And he and Emily just sort of clash from the get-go because she's just kind of having fun and she's just there for her niece and for the new friends she's making. And he finds things to nitpick about her all the time, which helps their sparks sort of fly between the two, especially when they are acting in character, because Simon is a pirate and she, as the bar wench, they have some really fun, witty banter back and forth. But as the summer progresses, she starts to realize that there's more beneath the surface of Simon, and there is something there that maybe they should sort of pursue, even though she's been so burned before. But this book is just a lot of fun. And because I go to the local medieval fair every summer, I just sort of had that vision of that medieval fair in my brain.
Right.
You just kind of easily drop these characters in there and their story. And I like all the little like language playing with the old timey language and stuff throughout the book. And it's a lot of fun though.
Oh, sounds amazing. I love the witty banter part of it. And like you said, with the language, I have never been to one of those, but I just think
it's right down the road.
Is it really? I know, I should try it. Yeah, it just sounds amazing. I love the different time era, looking at the past like that. So yeah, it sounds really fun. So my next one made me hungry. Okay. So I had a cute animal in my first one, and this one made me hungry. It's called The Donut Shop by Julie Tieu.
I'm listening.
Yes. Right. I got you. So this is about Jasmine Tran, and she has landed herself behind bars, maple bars, that is. With no boyfriend or job prospects, Jasmine returns home to work at her parents' donut shop. And she quickly loses herself in a cyclical routine of donuts, Netflix, and sleep. So she feels like, and she's like gone to college, got her degree and all of that, but she's like, why am I stuck at my parents' donut shop? I mean, me personally, I feel like that's a dream, but I understand she feels a little unfulfilled. But anyways, she wants to break out of this, in other words. But hiking the rent threatens her family's business, so she feels a certain sense of duty to try and stick it out with them until it can get on its feet, the business. So, but help comes along in the form of an old college crush, Alex Lay. And not only is he successful and easy on the eyes, but he's also Chinese, which is perfect because that's exactly what her parents want. You know, a nice, good Chinese boy, and everything seems perfect until they have a family dinner and a certain secret comes out about his past. I won't spoil it, but it kind of ruins his reputation in her parents' eyes. So he's kind of off the table now. And so there's a little bit of tension because he's really nice, he's really cute, but the parents who run the donut shop say no. So as they work together to try and save the shop, they learn a little bit more about each other, you know, get a little messy making donuts. It's kind of messy. And as they go through this, they learn a lot, and hopefully we'll see what happens with them. But it was delightful once again. Meg Cabot, if anyone is familiar with, she's written a lot of fun, quirky books. She said, "Donut miss this tasty treat, as fresh and warm as a newly baked glaze. You need this book now." I couldn't agree more. Just, you know, you'll devour this book like a box of donuts.
Well, Meg Cabot approved. That makes sense.
Yes, great. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for this edition of All Booked Up with Cailey and Meg. We hope whether you're with a beloved one or single, you enjoy, get lost in these fun, delightful romance books.
Yes, it's a perfect time of year for them. Although I argue any time of the year.
Anytime.
Exactly. We hope you enjoy these, and we'll see you next time. Happy reading.